turns out that while Prince Harry was very keen to blame senior members of the British monarchy all about, of course, his removal of security while he luxuriated over in the land of Montecito, turns out, in fact, that our late and wonderful monarch, Her Majesty the Queen, was more than keen to make sure that he and Meghan and subsequent children would have had a level of security. But she was overruled over here by the Home Office and the British Metropolitan Police, and in particular this particular lady at that time, Dame Priti Patel, who was the Home Secretary. Now the reason behind this, I can tell you as ever exclusively, was all about costs and how this would look against her remit as the Home Secretary. You see, what she understood was that the British public simply did not want to pay for that particular security, and in turn, when they're not living here in the United Kingdom. This was discussed with senior members of the British monarchy, and naturally those sort of matters regarding royal security off-site, as they call it, are left to the British Home Office, in great discussion about exactly the level that's required on each and every particular visit, wherever that be in the world. But of course, Harry didn't want to take on this particular individual, or indeed subsequent Home Secretaries. He decided, naturally, and as ever we have to say allegedly, to go down the family route. But what's interesting now is that that still remains. Whether Harry pushes ahead and gets some level of security from this recent court case, it's simply not going to play out well. This will juggernaut against the British monarchy, who truly believe it's them that has the final say. Naturally, if it goes in his favour, and right now at the time of recording, we truly have no idea which way it's going to go. The Home Office and the Home Secretary could appeal. This would be all about costs and the draining of resources. What was interesting, and I know this for a fact, there were not many takers about anybody from those special departments within the Metropolitan Police who exclusively look after members of the royal family to relocate over originally, if you remember, to Canada and then Montecito. They simply didn't want to do it. Now, while Prince Harry still blethers on about wanting to pay for it independently, it's whether you can actually find somebody also that would be willing to do it. But as this case rattles on, it's fascinating to know that once again Harry and Meghan have shot off with their own side of the story, clearly not realising that those kind of decisions are not made at royal level. Naturally, there would have been a discussion with Her Majesty the Queen, and she would have known exactly the thoughts of the British Home Secretary at that time. Now, this can't have really played too negatively within the British monarchy because, obviously, she became a dame, something which she's very proud of. And I have to say, knowing her quite well, a very nice and sensible lady, very, very thorough. And she realised, naturally, that the British public would not buy it. Now, obviously, she's not Home Secretary now, and we do know who is, Mr. James Cleverly. But the bottom line for him now is deciding whether he can make sure that people will literally buy the idea of supplying security to someone that clearly has no intention of returning on a more permanent basis back to the United Kingdom. It is an unprecedented move, but more importantly, one that the British public, he knows, will not tolerate. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.